Hi, thanks, Simon. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. As mentioned, my name is Adishan Naidoo, and I am the business manager for Webtrader. Just a quick about Webtrader. Webtrader is the offshore trading platform offered by Standard Bank, and it allows you to, as a retail investor, to invest in up to 29 different exchanges across 17 different countries. Now, why that's quite a useful tool, like our sister platform, Online Share Trading, that's a random-based platform and that allows you to trade in the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. Webtrader gives you the opportunity to trade in the London Stock Exchange, the New York Stock Exchange, and so forth. So it's quite a nice, useful trading app or trading tool to obviously diversify your investment. So before we get started, I just want to take you guys through the website. As you can see, it's very similar look and feel to the Online Share Trading. It's very important that you notice it does say Webtrader. We have had clients, once they've registered, try and sign up to the Webtrader platform using Online Share Trading. So if I just open up Online Share Trading on on the screen, you'll have a look at this is the Online Share Trading platform, and as it says Online Share Trading, and the login and register and password is almost identical to the sister platform Webtrader. So it's vitally important that you are on the correct website when signing in with your username and password. To get started and kick off, if you have a live account, you put in your username and password, click on sign in. I'm actually going to use my own today just to show you guys what the live website looks like. And then we'll take it from there. Once you sign in, it's vitally important to notice that you take into a page where it says special announcements. Now, the special announcements is where Webtrader, just like Online Share Trading, provides you as a user all the information regarding the platform. Vitally important, as you can see, trading US instruments, webinar downloads, and so on and so forth. Launch Webtrader, I'm not going to click on that just yet. It's how we're going to take you into the trading platform. There's something called Edit My Details. I'm just going to have a click here. And as you can see, you can edit your details, edit your banking details, and so on and so forth. So this is when you want to make changes for FICA on your account to obviously withdraw funds from Webtrader, or when you're just signing up on Webtrader. There's another tab called Manage Products. So for those that have a Webtrader account that cannot trade in spot, forex, or CFDs, this is where you'd enable your account to trade across the multiple sectors or multiple asset classes. Webtrader offers shares and ETFs, spot forex, as well as CFDs. We have over 160 spot forex pairings and about 4,500 different CFDs. When you click on Manage Accounts on the main platform, depending on the account you would have registered your Webtrader account for, once we go through the process shortly, you have the opportunity to add your GBP and Euro as a separate or sub account, or if you've chosen GBP, you'll have the option to add your Euro and USD. You can have 3 currency accounts on Webtrader that allow you to trade in that specific currency to avoid currency translation. Now, without further ado, let's just launch the Webtrader app, so I'll show you what it looks like. So now that Webtrader is launched, as you can see, this is the trading platform. I'm just gonna play. This is the trading platform. I prefer to use the black theme. It is quite easier on the eyes. As you can see, this is the white theme. There's a little button here allows you to toggle through the 2 themes. There's a watch list, your screener and alerts, positions and orders. And as you can see, this is the main trading function or trading platform. So if, for example, I wanted to find an instrument, and I know a big one is, for example, Apple, I'll type in Apple at the top, and you'll see it brings up the equity, because I have equities enabled, as well as the CFD. If I click on the equity, it takes me through, gives me the last traded price and the information on the equity. As you'll notice, there's only depth up to 1 level. And if I click on trade, it brings up a trade ticket. Now, I'm going to simulate this in the demo account for you guys. I just wanted to show you guys what the live account actually looks like. Within the live account as well, there's a useful tool within the account tab where you can find the performance of your portfolio. All right, it takes a bit of time to load. I do apologize. You'll also find historical reports, So your portfolio report, your trades, your account statement, shared dividends, financial statement, any CFD cash adjustments, so that's your intraday movement of CFDs, and so on and so forth. We also have a very useful P&L analysis tool, your deposits and transfers, so you can see how much cash was obviously moved into your account from deposits and withdrawals, and any historic cash transactions. And under other, we have new trading conditions, subscriptions, and activity log. This is actually one of the most useful tools I find on WebTrader. So when you see any new updates or position movements on your account, it's always nice to view your activity log, because then you keep a track of exactly what's happening on your account. And one other useful tool under this other tab is your corporate action events and your corporate action mandatory events. This is where you would make elections on your WebTrader account for any stocks that have a corporate action declared on them. So a stock split, a dividend that needs to be cash or stock, where you need to elect an option. This is where you do this on your WebTrader account. Let's get back to the trading screen. And I'm going to sign out of the live account now. And I'm going to take you guys through the registration process, because I'm sure that for those of you that do not have a WebTrader account, you'd like to know from online share trading how to sign up. So signing up is pretty easy. If you don't have an account, it's quite easy. You just click underneath the login, register for the account here. You put in an email address. For the sake of this, I'm just going to put in a dummy email address. All right, how we started. Very important to note that WebTrader only allows individuals to trade in WebTrader. There's no company's jurisdictions at the moment. You'll also notice that there's two important questions here. Are you a resident of the United States of America? If you are a United States citizen, unfortunately, we cannot offer a WebTrader account to you due to FICA purposes and reporting. And if you have any indicators to the United States, you also will not be able to hold a WebTrader account. Other than that, we'll click on continue. And then it's the usual page that you may be familiar with when you registered for. It's all your credentials and your details, just to obviously sign up for WebTrader. So it's quite simple and straightforward. That's page 2. Page 3 is simply going to ask you the account you wish to make your default account. As I showed you guys, was the USD, Euro, or GBP. And page 4 is simply your disclaimers and mandates. So if we come out of the live registration, that's simply where the registration takes part. Now, a lot of clients, before they even sign up for WebTrader, like to obviously have a demo and ask us if we do offer a demo. And actually we do with WebTrader. You can simply sign up for a demo here, where you click on do not have a demo, and it will take you to this page, very similar. You put in your details. As you can see, I've populated this already with my first name and so forth. So once you've filled in your details, accept the disclaimers and click agree. A little pop-up would come here with a username and password. Now, I already did this yesterday, but to show you guys, let's go through it. It's quite simple. Adishan Naidoo, cell phone number. Let's put in my email address. I do not bank with offshore banking. I'd say accept the disclaimers and agree. And as I said, you get a username and password. Now, why that's useful is with WebTrader, we offer a demo account, and the demo actually loads you with $100,000, all right, of simulated funds, not real funds, simulated funds that will allow you to go into the platform or the demo platform and trade as if you're trading on the live feed. So what that basically does is it takes the exact live account, gives you simulated funds, and allows you to go in and test your theories and obviously play around on the platform to be more familiar before you actually have to commit actual funds to the WebTrader account. Now, why I actually like to have two running at the same time, so a live account and a demo, is if you're one of those traders that obviously like to speculate, a demo account is a useful place for you to obviously test your theories and test your speculations by going in and committing simulated currency to the trade you're willing to place, and obviously monitoring it a day before or 2 days before you actually want to commit real funds to it. So let's take down these details. This is my demo user ID 10317 519 and my password 26. Now it's very important to note that the demo password cannot be reset, and the demo is actually only valid for 20 days. But If you wish to extend your demo's life, you simply need to pop an email to securities@standardbank.co.za, provide us with the user ID, and we can extend your demo for a period of 6 months if you would like. Now let's go into the demo. Simple click here to log in. And you'll notice the demo login has a different page or different login interface than the live account. So it simply says WebTrader demo. We'll put in that account number 103175519. And we'll put in the password 26U6W. All right. I'm going to sign in. So you'll notice it takes you similarly to the launch WebTrader page where it takes us straight in and we can begin the setup. Now what's nice about the demo is it also takes you through what's important in terms of a walk through the website. I'm setting this up for South Africa because we're South African. English is fine as the main default, and say accept. Takes you through to the WebTrader page. As I said, with trading products, I'm going to sign up for all three for the demo for the use of this webinar. The disclaimer, we would accept the disclaimer. And we're into the WebTrader account. Now, take the tour, as I mentioned, happens only on the first time you log in. So this happens on the first time you log into your live account as well as your demo for the first time. So find instruments. I've already shown you how we found Apple on the live account. How to trade, where you click on trade. Your watch list. I'm going to show you guys how to add instruments to a watch list. And at the bottom is your account number and the cash available and your account value. And if you're trading any margined instruments, what's your margin utilization? So as I mentioned, I prefer the black theme. And we're going to go ahead and place our first trade on WebTrader. So let's go with Apple. And we'll trade Apple stock. Click on trade. We have different value or types of orders on WebTrader. We have markets, like you're familiar with online share trading, limit. We have a stop. We have a trailing stop, stop limit, and so forth. Now we're going to go through to a buy. I'm going to buy, let's call it 100 shares of Apple. Now, this order actually won't be placed because it's important to note that the NASDAQ at the moment is closed. It tracks live as per the New York Stock Exchange and the London Stock Exchange. So it's very important to monitor the times of these exchanges that you wish to trade in, because WebTrader is a live version of these specific markets and tracks these specific markets. So let's place a trade on Apple. I wanted to show you this because the account is closed. The cost of this is $20 to trade. The nominal value is obviously the amount of shares I'm trading times the share price and the cash available. So I'm going to go ahead and place this order. It gives me a little pop-up. It makes sure that my order type is market, it's good for the day, and the cost. Once I click on confirm, you'll notice I get a little notification, but under my positions, I don't have the order. That's, as I said, due to the market being closed. If you click on orders, you'll find my order waiting to go into the market. Now, I can actually modify this order or cancel it entirely before it obviously activates. It is a market order, so I can go in and modify it and change the amount. However, one thing I'd like to show you guys, if we place the trade on, for example, let's go with BP in the London Stock Exchange, we'll notice that the London Stock Exchange is open. All right, it is a 15-minute delayed price, but let's place a limit order. So last traded price was 327.70. Let's place a buy for, we'll work on 327, and I want to buy 100 shares, and I'm going to make this good till cancelled. It's very important that you understand what good till cancelled means. A good till cancelled order is very different to a online share trading limit order, because when you place a limit order on online share trading, you have good for the day and good for the month. With WebTrader, you have good for the day, good for the month. You can select a date, And we have an option called good till cancel. Now, good till cancel means this order can stay in the market for as long as you have your WebTrader account. If you select a value of, for example, the market's trading at 327 and you put in 320 and you put in a good till canceled order, this order is going to sit in the market for a good until the price hits 320. This could be for a year, 2 years. So a lot of clients, sometimes their orders triggered recently in the recent downward swing with the stock market and the crash we had, where a lot of orders were going through on clients' WebTrader accounts. And this is because previously, a year or 2 years ago, clients had placed buy orders at levels that they never thought the market would obviously touch. With the recent crash, these orders activated because they had placed good till cancel orders. So it's vitally important that when you place a good till canceled order, as you can see what I'm placing now, you monitor your orders under your orders tab. It's very important. Now, as I wanted to show you guys, I've placed a market order here on Apple. If I click on modify, I cannot change any price. I can just change my quantity. But if I've placed a limit order on BP for 100, I can actually go in and change this to a market order. I changed it to a market order, and you'll notice it's now been moved from my orders file because it's now a filled position under my WebTrader account. So that's simply how to place a trade on WebTrader. And if you'd like to close your WebTrader, your position, there's a simple close button here. And we can go ahead and close the position. Now, it's very important to note that when it says square, it means your position is closed. All right. There is an option to close individual line items or simply go in and place a trade. For example, if I wanted to close half that position, 50 shares on its own. But when you click on close, it closes the entire position, and you will notice it then says square once your position has been closed. Another thing I want to take you guys through is how to add positions to your watch list. So my watch list at the moment has these specific stocks. These were pre-populated. As you noticed, we just opened this WebTrader account. But let's say we want to add Tesla, which is, I know, is a very followed stock and a very popular stock. I'll click on Tesla. It brings it up, and I simply click on the little icon here, which says add to price alert or add to watch list. So I'm going to click on add to watch list. It's going to ask me which one I want to add it to, and I'm going to add it to my watch list. And quite simply, Tesla has been added right here at the bottom. So it's quite simple and straightforward. Another thing I just want to take you guys through, now that we've obviously placed our first trade and seen how WebTrader works, is if you want to sign up for a WebTrader account, what exactly do you need? So when signing up for a WebTrader account, let's click on this tab here, which is called Getting Started on the main website. And let's look at what FICA documents are required. So as with online share trading, we need a valid copy of your ID identification, certified. It's important to note that WebTrader does allow foreign nationals to also register for WebTrader accounts. However, certain foreign nationals will go through specific checks. So your FICA will be determined on your country of residence or your country of origin, and this will be emailed to you, and it's a very different FICA process to South African citizens. We'll also require proof of residence, just like online share trading, a proof of banking, and like I said, with WebTrader, it is the sister platform of online share trading, so you could bank with any bank, local or international, and open a WebTrader account. The bank account that you load on your WebTrader account is purely for withdrawals. It's not for funding. You can fund your WebTrader account from any specific bank account. So you could use your local bank account. If you have offshore currency accounts or bank accounts, you can fund your WebTrader account from there. But for banking details on WebTrader, it's specifically for withdrawal purposes. And as I mentioned, we have 3 different currencies, a US dollar, a pound, and euro. So if you're withdrawing dollars, and you want to obviously withdraw to a dollar-based account, we can withdraw dollars to dollars. But WebTrader will not be allowed or be able to withdraw euros to a dollar account or pounds to a dollar account. So it's vitally important to note that the bank account you choose on file, if you have multiple international bank accounts, is the account that we will process your withdrawals to. proof of income tax number. That's for WebTrader, because as you know, with trading WebTrader, you're trading offshore currency, and with offshore currency, you are allowed to take a minimum or maximum of $1 million rand offshore, which forms part of your single discretionary allowance. Should you wish to take across more currency, you would need a further tax clearance, and that allows you to take up to 10 million rand offshore. So with an SDA, you're allowed $1 million rand take offshore without tax clearance. Should you require more than $1 million rand, you will then need to get a tax clearance certificate from SARS, and that will allow you to take across more than maximum of 10 million rand. When withdrawing funds, as I mentioned, goes to bank account on file. But when funding your trading account, and this is the important part, we have 3 different currency accounts with Deutsche Bank that you would use to fund your trading account. So in funding your trading account, you will fund through Deutsche Bank. It's important to note that the account name is not WebTrader or Standard Webtrader and so on and so forth. This is a very sensitive field when populating offshore transfers. The reason for this is you're transferring to Deutsche Bank, which is where Standard Bank of South Africa holds the WebTrader accounts, but the account name is Standard Bank of South Africa Limited. This has to be populated in your offshore transfer. Should the account name differ from Standard Bank of South Africa Limited, funds will not be applied into these funding accounts, which will delay your transfer of your funds to your WebTrader account. It's also important to note that the reference number that you need to supply when funding your trading account are your unique funding account details for WebTrader. So when you open a WebTrader account, you get a client ID, which is your account number, which we used on the demo. For example, 103175119. That's my client ID. But when opening multiple currency accounts with WebTrader, you get specific accounts. So your US dollar account will end in USD, your GBP account will end in GBP, and your Euro account will end in EUR. Now, these accounts are unique and need to be kept for yourself, because when you're trading and funding these accounts need to be used as reference numbers on the transfer. Further to this, we can also go ahead and have a look at the commissions, charges, and margin schedule, where as a client, you'll be able to have a look at the share trading rates, the share instrument rates, and the CFD instrument list. It's important to note that when you're looking at this, the brokerage rates are stipulated. So before you sign up or when you sign up on the demo, these minimum brokerages as well as the commission rates on the brokerages are stipulated to you as a client. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's basically what online share trading has to offer from a WebTrader point of view. WebTrader, as I said, is a sister platform and stands completely separate from online share trading. So there's no fund movement between online share trading and WebTrader. And WebTrader is a standalone platform and needs to be registered on its own should you wish to open a WebTrader account. Simon?
Adishan, thank you very much.
Back to you.
A couple of questions coming through. Some you've answered already.
Sure.
One question was if this is a real offshore as per SARS. Yes, the answer is that it is. Preston was asking, so web traders for your offshore, online share trading is for local JSE. Preston, correct. Question coming through around monthly fees, Adishan.
So monthly fees with WebTrader, and this is the ringer. So let's say I open a WebTrader account, and what's nice about this is if you're an online share trading client, your FICA is already on file. As I said, the only thing that may differ from WebTrader to online share trading is if you choose to use different banking details. So with online share trading, you use your Standard Bank local details or your FNB or Investec local details, but you want to now use offshore details with WebTrader, you'd use different details and your account would be opened. Let's say the account is now activated on WebTrader, but you haven't committed real funds or made a specific trade. That account is actually free. So your WebTrader account can remain free until you actually commit funds into the account. So there's no 110 Rand monthly fee like online share trading. But once you commit actual funds to WebTrader, let's say I deposit like my demo, $100,000 or $1,000 into the account. 1,000 is the recommended minimum. But let's say I deposit $1,000 into the account, and for 6 months I do not trade. If you log into the account 6 months after creating the account and depositing funds, you'll notice your $1,000 is still in your account and there's no monthly fee. So you ask yourself a question: when does WebTrader actually apply a monthly fee? So a monthly fee is actually only applied on WebTrader when you trade in stock and have open positions. So let's click on commissions, charges, and margin schedule. All right. And let's go down to administration fee. So we have an annual administration fee of 20 basis points, which is charged in respect of every trading account withheld in terms of the fee and how it's calculated. It's calculated on the daily closing value of a client's open share position. So as I mentioned, if you only have cash, you will not pay a monthly fee. If you have open share positions, it works with your open share exposure at 20 basis points. And there's the calculation here. So I don't like to use this example very often, but let's say you bought $1,000 worth of stock, and for the entire year, the stock market didn't move a single point. Highly unlikely. Am I right, Simon?
Yeah, not going to happen at the moment, dude.
So $1,000 at the moment times 0.2% is $2. All right, that $2 is what you would pay for your WebTrader account the entire year. Pretty cost effective, in my opinion.
Cool.
So it's simple as that.
Yeah, cool. That's that one done. Fred, you're asking if you can buy ETFs. Absolutely. So you're talking about an S&P 500 ETF. There are a couple of them. VOO from Vanguard's the most popular, but certainly you can be buying ETFs on the platform as well. Addition question coming in from Kamesh Patel. He's asking around S&P 500. Could you add an index to your watch list?
So with WebTrader, we don't offer the indexes or indices at the moment, but we do offer ETFs that track this. Now, this is a very popular question. The one ETF that does track, and it actually answers both questions in one, is the SPDR. So if you look at SPY, it's a CFD, all right, and it's on the ETF, the S&P 500 ETF. So you can actually trade this CFD or ETF CFD as if you're trading the all-the index on online share trading that tracks the all-share index in the JSE.
Gotcha. Cool.
So I'm actually going to go ahead and place this trade, put a market order, and as I said, when the market opens, it'll obviously trigger 100, and it'll show me the nominal value, margin impact, and as I said, because we're trading a CFD, an ETF CFD, it has a margin impact of $2,651.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Question coming through. The US account, this is particularly for the question around the Euro account. Is there interest being earned on positive balances?
So we used to offer interest on the USD account only, but as you guys know or would have been following, that the Fed has cut rates to almost a near zero at the moment. So at the moment, no accounts offer positive interest.
Yeah, and that's just a factor of...
No accounts offer positive interest at the moment. So that is subject to change, as I said, on the USD account, because we were offering interest last year while rates were positive. And that actually I can show you guys here. So when you click on commissions, charges, and margin schedule, and you click on account interest, as of 1st October 2019, we were offering interest. The fee is obviously broken down there, where we offered a effective federal funds rate less 75 basis points. So in actual fact, before these interest rate cuts, clients were earning about 1.3% on their US dollars that were deposited in WebTrader.
Gotcha.
At the moment, as I said, all accounts are at zero.
Yeah. Is there a minimum amount required to deposit into the account?
There's no minimum, but the recommended minimum is $1,000. The reason for that is you are trading in offshore currency, and as I showed your commission charge and margin schedule, your minimum brokerage is about $20. And I think, Simon, if you're not mistaken, one of the first seminars that we normally offer with online share trading, I know you've done them and I've done them quite a few times, is we say that minimal cost is king. So to deposit $1,000 literally helps with your costs and allows you to obviously trade a substantial amount to ensure that your cost per share is obviously lower than it needs to be.
Yeah. John, you're asking around estate when you now pass on and you've got a WebTrader account. Beyond the remit here, but I'll give you a short answer. I mean, yes, you will pay estate duty in the US. I think your first 60,000 is exempt, $60,000. So that's currently about $1 million ZAR. And people recommend that you have a separate will for your offshore assets, because the registers around the world want an original copy. So if you don't, they wind up your South African, then they send it off to the US, and they will then wind up the US one as well.
There's also a CITES tax memo, which I am showing now, where if you click on documents to just assist with that, there's a CITES tax memo in terms of state taxes as well, how that works.
Questions coming fast and ready. Craig is asking, is there some point in the near future where an individual will be able to open a non-individual account, either as a trust or a PTY or whatever the case may be?
It is something that we are looking at. It's not something I can say that's going to be in the near future, purely basis on the reporting requirements that we are obligated to with regards to WebTrader. So at the moment, I can't say it is going to be happening in the next year or so. But as you know, with online share trading, we offer company and trust accounts. So it is something we're trying to get onto the WebTrader platform.
Okay. Dave, you're asking about Standard Bank assisting in setting up an offshore bank account in USDs. Standard Bank can, that's not the WebTrader or OST, it's a separate function. But if you hit the website, standardbank.co.za, you'll find details. Adishan?
Yeah, but with regards to an offshore bank account, should you open a WebTrader account and obviously want to open an offshore bank account as well, we can assist and pass that on to our colleagues in the offshore banking team. So it is quite nice where with online share trading and WebTrader, as well as the offshore banking team, they can assist in opening your WebTrader account and obviously passing your details on to us and getting you to register. It's important to note that with WebTrader, we cannot open accounts for clients. It has to be done online, as I showed you guys now today in today's webinar. But with regards to opening your banking account offshore, we can pass your details on with your consent and have someone from the offshore banking team contact you.
There we go. Nice and easy. A last question coming through from Craig. He says, is there a nice and simple way to get a list of basically all of the ETFs on perhaps a single exchange or perhaps the large exchanges?
Unfortunately not. That's not the first time I've had this question or actually been requested this from a client. Unfortunately, no. It is something that we are looking at. It's just because of the amount of ETFs available on the platform. I think there's, if I'm not mistaken, Simon, I think there's over 600 or 1,200 ETFs on the platform.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Well, more ETFs
so to just
he has shares.
Yeah. So just to pull through a list of all the ETFs is a bit difficult, but I mean, it is something that we can try and provide. Something that we can look at enhancing on the platform. So definitely taking into consideration, and we'll take that to task.
Yeah, I mean, what I do is I just head over to either Vanguard or iShares. They're the two biggest in America. Mm-hmm. And obviously any of the ETFs are on WebTrader, and I then use their functionality in order to access it. Question from Charmin, will Shift be sufficient to place offshore? So if a client's got a Shift account, can they use that to move money across to WebTrader?
100%. So Shift is one of the major, I'd say, mechanisms or vehicles that I would recommend. Number one, it is a quick way to get funds into WebTrader. It is a lot faster than using internet banking. Internet banking is sufficient and does work, but Shift is a very easy to use app, and it's 100% works, and the beneficiary is pre-populated. All you'll simply need to put in is your reference number, and your funds will obviously be transferred between Shift and WebTrader. However, we cannot use Shift as a bank account to transfer funds from WebTrader back to Shift. So Shift is purely a funding vehicle. We cannot move funds back to Shift.
Cool.
One other thing, Sai, I just want to touch on.
Sure.
So as you guys noticed on the demo, if I type in Berkshire Hathaway, for example, right, Berkshire, you'll notice it brings up U.S. instruments. But it's very important to note that when you first sign up for WebTrader, guys, the reason why I just want to sign into the live account, and I just want to show you guys something, is when signing up for WebTrader, off the bat, so from the word go, you actually don't have U.S. instruments. The reason for this is there is a form called a W-8 bin that is administered via GlobeTax, all right, that allows you to trade in U.S. instruments only once you've got a valid W-8 bin form. Now, when signing into WebTrader, as I showed you guys, you sign in, and this is the main page. Click on trading in U.S. instruments, and you'll read the little write-up that it requires for trading U.S. instruments. As I mentioned, the W-8 bin form, all right? And if you click here on this, it takes you through to the page that I mentioned. Now, this can be done at your own leisure once you open up a WebTrader account, and this is why we require a W-8 bin form and why there is a restriction to U.S. instruments without a W-8 bin form.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. That's important.
It is very important because you're going to log into your live account and not see U.S. instruments and think we're not offering it to you.
Yeah. Yeah. Fill in your forms. Adishan, they can email you. Is it adishan.naidoo@standardbank.co.za?
That's correct.
Yeah. Or you head to the website. You'll find everything on the website. If you've got questions, there's contact details there. You can also do securities@standardbank.co.za. If you've got more questions, we'll park it there. I really appreciate your time, Adishan. Ladies and gents, appreciate your time. Stay safe. Cheers all.
Thank you all.